You know, the old song says, one is the loneliest number. Well, in this gentleman's case, one is the most unique number because this is going to be a surprise to a lot of people because of the impact hockey's had in Colorado over the last number of years. He's the first native-born Coloradian, or Coloradian, I'm pronouncing that right, to make it and stay in not only the NHL, but the WHA. It was something like 20 years later where a second person born and bred from Colorado made it to the major leagues. Now, this guy may not ring a bell for a lot of NHL fans, but let me tell you something. For fans of the WHA, especially in San Diego, do you remember, well, a very talented skater, did play some defense in his career, but moved to center, and when he moved there, my God, ladies and gentlemen, what a great player. So today we're going to be talking about the guy who is a Norris, but he doesn't spell it like Jack, Joe Noris with an S. Now, Joseph S. Norris, born October 26, 1951 in Denver, played pro hockey pretty well for 20 plus years, and also was involved heavily in roller hockey. Now, drafted in the third round, 32nd overall by the Penguins in the 71 NHL amateur draft, he played 55 regular season contests in the NHL with the Pens. He also played with St. Louis and the Sabres. Now, as you know, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo had a very talented lineups at the time. It was very hard for him to make it. He jumped to the WHA and put up some dynamite numbers with the Mariners and the Bulls, skating in 198 WHA games with 72 goals and 116 assists from 75 to 78. Now he's a big star in the minor leagues as well. We're going to get into that pretty soon. Now, Norris, to my memory, was the first native-born Coloradian to be selected to an all-star team. That was 1977. He was the Mariners representative and also played with the United States at the inaugural 76 Canada Cup tournament. Several years after, he skated with the Herb Brooks Team USA in the early 70s. Now, Paris Doofus became the second Coloradian to play in the NHL in 1997. Now, very, very big in rollerblading. He has owned and ran Skate San Diego, a roller hockey rink in Santee, California. Now, let's go back, way, way back to when he started his career. He played with Kitchener of the OHA in the 69 season with 14 points in 18 games. 1970, 27 goals in 48 games, 46 points. And he's draft year with Toronto. He had 12 goals, 24 assists for 36 points. Now, he played forward as well in junior and also spent the first 3 months of the 71 season with Team USA. Now, his final NHL totals weren't, stellar, but pretty impressive for a guy from Colorado, where, all the way from Team USA through the OHA. Now, I played the first 3 months of the 71 season in the U.S. program and did not go to the Worlds, I think, in the early spring of 71, decided to go to junior. NHL career, 2 goals, 5 assists for 7 points, 22 minutes and penalties. Now, his first NHL game was against Philadelphia on October 9th, 71, and the final NHL game was for Buffalo in 1974, January 17, against Philadelphia. Now, his big number 27 stood out at the time. He was one of the most highly regarded rookie prospects when he was Pittsburgh, but again, unfortunately, didn't pan out. Now, he played center for all of his pro career after 1974. He made Pittsburgh's NHL roster out of training camp as a 19-year-old rookie in 71 and remained with the team until he was sent to Hershey for seasoning on New Year's Day 72. Now, he played on that Team USA squad in 76 for the Canada Cup, finishing with 1 assist in 4 tournament games. Now, he also played center for San Diego throughout the 77 season, where he scored his WHA career highs of 35 goals, 57 assists, and 92 points. He also represented San Diego in the All-Star game in Hartford on January 18, 77, which is very prominent on YouTube. Just look it up. Now, he led the PHL in points, 104 and assists, 77, with San Diego in 78-79, playing with the great Willie O'Ree from Franklin, our Hockey Hall of Famer. He won the PHL MVP award with San Diego that campaign and was also named to the first All-Star team with that squad. Now, the only major injuries in his career besides an automobile accident which caused facial damage in 76, he had bad torn ligaments in a game against New England for Birmingham. At the time, he was leading the team with 15 points in 11 contests, and this required surgery. Put him out for about two full months. Now, going again way back, he was first traded by Kitchener to Toronto on December 4th, 1970, then loaned by Pittsburgh to San Diego, which was Philadelphia's affiliate, for the balance of the 73 season. Now, 73, he was traded from Pittsburgh to St. Louis in exchange for Jim Shires, and on June 12, he was claimed by Buffalo in the Inter-League draft on June 12, 73. Now, in June 1974, he was claimed by Calgary off waivers from Toronto, owned his rights, and then his WHA rights were traded 2 months later by Calgary in exchange for Dick Santez, and then he signed with Birmingham in August of 77 as an unrestricted free agent. Now, other teams he played for, he played in Europe as well for Graz, Hershey, San Diego and Denver of the WHL, Cincinnati and Syracuse of the AHL, San Diego and Birmingham of the WHA, San Diego of the PHL, so 3 San Diego teams, and of course Graz in Austria. Now, he served as assistant coach at U.S. International University in San Diego during the 1980s up until the school's Division I program folded after the 87 season. He was also the president and CEO of inline hockey's San Diego Barracudas of Roller Hockey International from 95 through 96, when, of course, the team folded. He was a student at Denver's Thomas Jefferson High School before moving to Canada after his junior year in 68. Now, he returned to San Diego and settled in La Jolla after retirement, working for many years as a local youth hockey coach for both ice and inline hockey. He eventually established himself as a leading local advocate for the growth of both ice and inline hockey in the San Diego area, and his work included hosting a San Diego talk radio show about hockey, and later owning and running his inline hockey facility called Skate San Diego that began in National City in 2002 and later moved to El Cajon, California. He's also Skate San Diego's lead hockey instructor. He has also played for a national championship over 35 inline team called the Sprunghosers in the early 2000s and has been part of the overall effort to get inline hockey recognized as the Olympic sport. But the problem with that, do you make it summer or winter? That's the question. Now, he was selected by the Ottawa in the 72 NHL WHA draft to first in February 72, and of course Toronto got his rights later. He agreed to return to OHA if Toronto was able to attain his rights from Kitchener, which he did. He was also a member of the PHL team that folded at the end of the 79 season. Now, he did practice with the University of Denver team while working as stick boy from ages of 14 to 16, and according to published reports, it really aided his development process. Now, he played center for the first time with Hershey during his rookie season of 72, and also played briefly for San Diego Surf of the Pacific Senior League at age 41 during the 93 campaign. Now, he moved at age 17 to board with former Denver NHL player Tom Miller's in-laws. Now, he also he played center on a full-time basis with Syracuse to open the 75 campaign. Again, was a teammate for Herb Brooks with Team USA and Willie O'Ree with San Diego of the PHL. Now, he had planned to play for USA in the 71 Worlds, but left the team in December 1970. Now, he became an unrestricted free agent after his San Diego team folded in June 77, and of course, the great Colorado, celebration of him being the first. Now, what's kind of weird here, ladies and gentlemen, Pittsburgh saw a lot of him, and Pittsburgh was scouting a lot of the Kitchener team players at the time. He had played also with the Kitchener Green Shirts for a little while. Now, with Hershey in that first campaign, 23 points in 42 games. San Diego in 73, he had 16 points and 28 points in 35 games with Denver of the WHL. Back with the Bears in 73, he had 7 points in 8 games. Also played with St. Louis that year for 2 games. 74, good numbers with the Swords, 18 points in 28 regular season games. Unfortunately, his time with Buffalo wasn't the best. No points, no assists in 18 games. But with Syracuse the next year, he found his goal-scoring prowess back, 62 points in 73 games, including 26 goals. Now, this is kind of bizarre, ladies and gentlemen, because he never scored more than 25 goals in a season. The next year at San Diego, Andre Lacroix was an influence, I think. 68 points in 80 games, including 28 goals. But 77, the breakout year, 92 points in 73 games, 35 goals. Birmingham, 78, some injuries were bothering, 28 points in 45 games, including 9 goals. San Diego of the PHL, the Willie O'Reilly year, finally broke 100 points. And ironically, his last major minor pro season, 104 points in 58 games, 27 goals. So I think our good New Brunswick guy wore off. Ladies and gentlemen, what's kind of ironic about this, in hockey terms, very few people from Colorado even talk about this guy, what he called on the national publication level. He's been a hometown hero in Syracuse, San Diego, obviously his home region in Colorado, for Team USA. But I think he's a trailblazer, and I tell you why. He has helped develop hockey, or helped the appreciation of hockey in so many areas of Western U.S. Very, very strong OHA player. San Diego, roller hockey. I think roller hockey is a very underrated sport. I've covered some athletes from Northern New Brunswick who were in the original RHI, but the efforts of Yvonne Cormier and other people. There was one point, ladies and gentlemen, roller hockey was supposed to be the next big thing, but for some reason, inline skating has not really caught on, maybe because of the fact, I don't know, maybe it's like comparing lacrosse is picked up, but is more like hockey than ever before. It's like indoor soccer. Sometimes with certain sports, for example, there's no field hockey pro leagues in North America. Look up that as you will, as we like to say. Sometimes it works, and it's all about timing. Maybe one day Joe's efforts and the rest of the roller inline hockey community will work. I think it deserves to be a demonstration sport in the Olympics, and if Colorado ever gets back the Olympics. But how do you put it? Did you put it in a summer sport or winter sport? Do you have it outside? Do you have it in a hockey arena? Where do you put it? There has to be a determination where you're going to have it. Is it going to be 5-on-5? Is it going to be 3-on-3? Because, a lot of what I call road hockey or indoor hockey, sometimes it's 4-on-4 and 3-on-3. And it's very exciting, because it has elements of lacrosse and stuff like that. But Joe Noris, he deserves our respect. That's why we're doing a podcast today. But the reason I'm doing this, somebody asked me the other day, he said, how many players have we had from Colorado? Before, they had the Rockies and the Avalanche. And I still don't remember him dropping a puck for any Colorado game. I could be wrong here, but it seems kind of weird. I think the Colorado Avalanche, if they go on a Stanley Cup run this year, should ask Joe Noris to come in and do some commentary or do some promotion to talk about what it was like to be the first to move to Canada and develop his skills. You look at the movie Youngblood, but from Colorado all the way to Ontario, that's a long freaking trek. It's say like AC/DC, it's a long way to the top when you want to rock and roll. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's a story of a very talented and a very unheralded, shouldn't be, Joe Noris. If you like what we're doing here, give us a like, comment, subscribe. And don't forget, thanks to everybody that supported the channel this week in the midst of all our Guy Lafleur podcasts. We do appreciate the good words and the good sentiments you passed on, and legends never die because they live on in our hearts, and Guy was a legend. If you look in a dictionary now that says legend, they probably should say see Guy. If you don't say see Guy, see Maurice. If you don't see Maurice, see Jean. So it's been an emotion-filled week. Thanks for listening. Bye.